Face Off isn't just packed with exciting action and surprising twists, it also has little surprises tucked into every corner of the film. Whether you're a longtime fan or just discovering this adventure for the first time, there's so much more happening behind the scenes than you might think. Let's jump right in and uncover the weird facts that make this action classic even more fascinating than you knew. Number 1. Double Sale. Warner Brothers bought the script way back in 1991, but they got worried because they thought the whole face-swapping idea was too strange for moviegoers. Even funnier, one studio boss completely misunderstood the entire story and worried how they'd make the actors look alike with makeup. They totally missed the point that the actors would actually switch roles. After Warner Brothers let their option run out, Paramount came in and grabbed it, so the writers got paid twice for the same story. Number 2. Stars that said no. Before Nicolas Cage and John Travolta became the stars we know and love in this movie, the writers had completely different actors in mind.
The base, it's maybe for me and the crew, but the Golden Globe, it's for these both fantastic actors.
They originally imagined Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger playing these roles. Back in the early 90s, those two were the biggest names in action movies, and the writers figured you'd really need famous actors to make people believe in such a wild story. Number 3. Cage's intense acting moment. While shooting the tense prison sequence where Archer starts to riot, Castor stomped around screaming, "I'm Castor Troy," over and over at stunned inmates. He got so intensely into character that he experienced something genuinely strange. He later said that during the take, he felt like he left his body and had a brief moment where he wasn't sure if the chaos around him was real or just acting. Number 4. Trashed ending. Rob Cohen, who later directed The Fast and the Furious, was attached to Face Off before John Woo came aboard. Cohen had some truly unusual ideas for how the movie should end. His biggest suggestion was having the hero and villain actually team up at the finale to stop the bomb together. But wait, it gets stranger. He also wanted the bomb itself to somehow become alive and aware during this process. The writers carefully typed up these wild suggestions into new script pages. Thankfully, when Cohen left the project to make Dragonheart instead, those pages went straight into the trash where they probably belonged. Number 5. Johnny Depp's funny hockey mix-up. After Rob Cohen left, another director named Marco Brambilla came in and wanted much younger actors in the lead roles. Paramount Studios really wanted to turn Johnny Depp into an action star at this point. They told the filmmakers they'd only greenlight the movie if Depp agreed to star opposite Nicolas Cage, who was already eager to do it.
We have movement, we've introduced the element of time and movement, although the characters are looping, so they're in effect trapped.
Depp said he was interested, so they sent him the script. When he finally sat down to read it, he was pretty disappointed. Turns out Depp had taken the title Face Off way too literally and genuinely thought it was going to be a movie about ice hockey. Number 6. Knocking out Castor. Getting the bad guy Castor Troy into a coma early in the movie created a serious puzzle for the writers. They needed something dramatic but believable, and they went through tons of silly ideas before landing on the jet engine blast we see in the final film. At one point, they considered freezing Castor with liquid nitrogen, kinda like what happens in Terminator 2. The studio rejected that one pretty quickly. They also thought about having him climb an air traffic control tower and fall off, but John Woo pointed out that a fall like that would break way too many bones to make sense. Even being shocked by the high-voltage wires made it onto the list of possibilities. Number 7. Moving sadness to the beginning. In earlier versions of the script, the sad carousel scene where Castor accidentally hurts Sean Archer's young son wasn't the opening. It happened somewhere in the middle of the story instead. Woo insisted on moving this upsetting moment to the very first scene, and looking back, that decision was really smart. Starting out with a sad moment immediately makes us understand why Archer is so focused on catching Castor. Number 8. The Spooky Mirror. The version of Face Off that played in theaters has a pretty happy ending where everything wraps up nicely, but they actually filmed a completely different ending that went in a much darker direction. In this alternate version, Archer stares at himself in a bathroom mirror when suddenly Castor Troy's face appears in the reflection, grinning at him. His wife Eve sees it and gets really scared. Archer looks again and the vision is gone, but as he hugs Eve, he flashes Castor's creepy smile behind her back. Number 9. Audiences demanded the adopted son. That sweet ending where Archer adopts Castor's young son almost didn't exist. The writers had included it in their original drafts, but Paramount executives worried that viewers wouldn't accept the hero raising his enemy's child. John Woo's first cut of the movie actually left out the adoption and ended on a more uncertain note, making you wonder if things would really be okay. When test audiences watched this version, they really didn't like it. People specifically wanted to know what happened to Castor's kid. The studio decided to spend extra money to bring everyone back and film the heartwarming ending as the writers had originally written it. Number 10. When actors became each other. One secret ingredient that makes Face Off so entertaining is how Nicolas Cage and John Travolta prepared for their roles. They didn't just read the script and show up. Instead, they spent serious time together studying each other's movements, voices, and little habits. They even worked out specific gestures to mirror throughout the film. There's a moment early on where Travolta, playing Archer, worriedly says, "Oh God," while rubbing the back of his head. Cage watched Travolta do this, then later copied that exact same gesture when he had to play Archer's personality. Travolta also suggested that Cage watch some of his older movies to really absorb his style. Number 11. Travolta made fun of his own chin. When Castor Troy looks in the mirror wearing Archer's face and complains about having a ridiculous chin, that's actually a joke about John Travolta's own famous chin. Travolta came up with these self-teasing lines himself because he thought it made sense that the vain Castor would dislike looking like anyone except his handsome self. At first, Travolta wasn't sure about making fun of his own appearance. He questioned whether audiences would think it was strange. The writers had to reassure him that the joke was actually flattering because the humor comes from Castor, not realizing how good-looking Archer really is. Number 12. The creepy sibling kiss. One of the more uncomfortable moments in Face Off happens when you notice Castor Troy's brother and sister shared a weird kiss on the lips. Sasha and Dietrich are siblings, and that kiss is definitely inappropriate and never gets explained. This detail wasn't in the script at all. The actors Gina Gershon and Nick Cassavetes came up with it on set to make their characters seem extra disturbing. John Woo is really careful about his action scenes, but he also lets actors improvise sometimes, so he allowed them to go ahead with it. The actors figure that a criminal family this twisted might have some serious boundary problems. Number 13. Robot doubles. The face swap surgery scenes in Face Off are some of the coolest "wait, how did they do that" parts of the whole movie. And nope, it wasn't CGI like you might think. The crew pulled it off with old-school movie magic. Special effects artist Kevin Yeager actually built full-size latex dummies of both John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Clone of me, which is terrifying to look at. You could trip out on it. It breathes and it twitches its face and it's...
These weren't just stiff props, they were puppets that could breathe, twitch their faces, and even had matching body hair. So when you see the actors lying on the operating table, you're really looking at incredibly realistic robot versions of them. Number 14. Dragons from Cage's birth year. Those flashy golden pistols that Castor Troy carries around aren't just random props. Nicolas Cage himself requested that his character's twin gold-plated guns have dragon engravings on the handles. The reason is actually pretty personal. Cage was born in 1964, which is the year of the dragon in the Chinese zodiac. Director John Woo thought this was a great idea because it connected the actor to his character in a meaningful way. Number 15. Dinosaurs and face swapping. Face Off shares an unexpected connection with Jurassic Park that's hiding in plain sight. During the futuristic prison sequence, if you watch carefully, you can spot a storage cabinet labeled InGen in the background. InGen is the fictional company that cloned all those dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Having it show up in Face Off is probably just a fun inside joke, or maybe they reused some set decorations since both movies were released by studios under the same parent company. Number 16. Award-nominated action. The movie holds an impressively high approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and reviewers praised both the incredible performances by Cage and Travolta and John Woo's stylish action sequences. It wasn't just popular with audiences either, earning over $245 million worldwide at the box office.
Getting an Academy Award nomination became very surreal.
The film even scored an Academy Award nomination for Best Sound Effects Editing at the 1998 Oscars. Number 17. The Face Waterfall. One of the oddest recurring moments in Face Off is the way Sean Archer and his family show love by gently brushing their fingers down each other's faces. Fans have nicknamed this the Face Waterfall, and it pops up several times throughout the movie. Even Castor Troy does it at one point to mess with Archer's daughter. The cast thought it was pretty strange at first, but it pays off emotionally at the end when Archer's cautious daughter recognizes her real father by that familiar touch. Number 18. Mario's boots got a second life.
Get his boots, Walton.
Those big clunky metal boots the prisoners wear in the Erewhon prison actually have a secret past. The movie crew didn't make them just for face-off, they borrowed them from another film. The boots were first used in the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie, where they helped characters like the Goombas jump super high. For Face Off, the team took those same boots, gave them a new design, and turned them into high-tech magnetic restraints that lock into the prison floor. They even kept the glowing LED lights on the heels. Which secret blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing movie secrets.